Now tell me, where is your master? Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn?
Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
Hey there guys, Unofficial Star Wars here. I hope you're all doing well, and in this video we're going to be talking about The Mandalorian Season 3. When will we see Ahsoka return? Of course, as we already all know and love, Ahsoka Tano made her first live-action debut in The Mandalorian Season 2, later to be found in the Book of Boba Fett as well. And now, the actress Rosario Dawson might have just a little bit slipped up and had revealed that Ahsoka could have the potential to return in the next episode of The Mandalorian. That there being said, we're going to be taking a read from the direct's article. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there as well. The Mandalorian's Ahsoka Tano actress Rosario Dawson may be teasing her return in Season 3 ahead of her own Disney Plus spin-off coming out later this year. So one out of two things here. Of course, we're going to have the Ahsoka show coming out later this year. It's going to be the next big live-action Star Wars Disney Plus show after the third season of The Mandalorian. And for another thing, the second thing is that I'm very prominent on the idea that we'll have a quote-unquote bottle cap episode that focuses on not just Ahsoka, but also working on introducing some of the Star Wars Rebels characters and part of the Ghost Crew as well in The Mandalorian Season 3, having like a whole episode that's kind of dedicated to that. I really believe that that way it would really help set up for the Ahsoka show and help promote and market it in a way as well. As the article continues, having proven to be a fan-favorite character in animation across the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, Ahsoka Tano came to live action in the first time in The Mandalorian Season 2, in which she was played by Daredevil actress Rosario Dawson. The Jedi since made one brief appearance in the Book of Boba Fett with Luke Skywalker, while she is set to return later this year in her own show, Ahsoka. In her own Disney Plus series, she will team up with other members of the Rebel crew as a sequel to the animated show almost. This year being said, I think that there are a number of things that are pointing for a potential comeback for Ahsoka in the next episode of The Mandalorian. Like, I'm so excited for this and I believe this all so well. Fingers crossed on this. For one thing, Rosario Dawson herself took to Instagram recently to post a picture of herself at The Mandalorian Season 3 premiere. The video sees herself hit some poses on the red carpet and do her best Wonder Ahsoka impression, referring to a social media user who cosplays as Wonder Woman and Ahsoka, which I love to see how these actresses and crew members and people that work on these shows and projects are so connected to their fans. Most interestingly, Rosario Dawson also added that she is josying for the next Mando episode, potentially pointing toward her imminent return in the next week's 4th episode, but that's not the only indication at that. According to an official listing from the Writers Guild of America, VIA, Star Wars News Net, next week's Chapter 20 will be written by both Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, the creator of Star Wars The Clone Wars and the overall Ahsoka character. And we also recently had just discussed this in a previous video that Grief Karga's actor Carl Weathers is also the director of this episode here as well, so it's more than likely that we'll also not only potentially hopefully fingers crossed see Ahsoka Tano appear in this next episode of The Mandalorian, but also have the return of Grief Karga as well, as we first saw him in the premiere already for this season. And of course, Dave Filoni being part of the writer for this episode, of course Jon Favreau being the head like writer and creator of the Mandoverse and the Mandalorian and everything, of course. Dave Filoni previously has been named as a writer on 3 Mandoverse episodes before, including The Mandalorian's The Jedi from the Book of Boba Fett, chapters 6, both of which featured Dawson's Ahsoka. So of course those 2 episodes that feature this character of Ahsoka, the 2 times that she has appeared in live action in the Mandoverse, in the Mandalorian, and also in the Book of Boba Fett, have been directed and written by Dave Filoni. So this here all being said, will Ahsoka return in The Mandalorian Season 3? As I mentioned previously before, not just in this video, but previous many videos, of course, here on the channel. If you've been watching our channel for long enough, you would know that, of course, as I had said, a bottle cap episode that focuses around Ahsoka and her character overall, but also introducing some of the Star Wars Rebels Ghost Crew characters in the live action as well for another thing that would help better set up for the Ahsoka show, that they're, of course, being the next first big live-action Disney Plus Star Wars show after the third season of The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian has long been keeping its biggest characters under wraps. Just recently, Boba Fett has confirmed to appear in Season 3 by Disney's Hong Kong Facebook account, despite not really being widely promoted as much though, however. With Ahsoka's own Disney Plus spin-off coming out a little bit later this year, as I had mentioned, spinning directly out of The Mandalorian, it wouldn't be surprising to see her pop up one more time to set up her own solo adventure with the Rebels Ghost crew. How exactly Ahsoka could enter the fray in Season 3, though, is less than far than clear, especially given that Grogu and his Force-sensitive roots haven't really proven as important this season as they had in the past seasons, being a main focus. The Mandoverse is expected to eventually culminate into a climatic crossover event at the same time as well, something that we recently covered here on the channel. Thank you so much for all the love and support over on that video as well. So it does make sense for Season 3 to continue expanding that puzzle with links into various other spin-offs, especially those coming this year. Something kind of like why the Mandoverse is called the Mandoverse is because it's all interlinked, all like overlapping in a way of where you see different characters appearing in other shows essentially. The Mandalorian reportedly already connected to one of this year's spin-offs, with episodes 1, the Pirate King Gorian Shard, set to serve as the villains of Star Wars Skeleton Crew. Now, Star Wars Skeleton Crew is set to come out either very late this year or very early next year, and is going to be written and directed, and actually has already been filmed and everything, by Jon Watts, the creator, or not necessarily the creator, but the director and writer for the MCU's Spider-Man trilogy. I've talked about Star Wars Skeleton Crew here on the channel, of course, so check those videos out as well. However, the pirate crew that we see in the first episode of the third season of The Mandalorian, new reports and rumors are indicating that those characters would be the main villains of the Star Wars Skeleton Crew. That's something I want to dive deeper on into in a separate future video here on the channel, so of course hit that subscribe button if you haven't already to be notified for when that video does come out. And from there, that is where the article concludes, and as I had mentioned at the beginning of this video, I have this article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there as well. But really here, overall, our main takeaways here, I think, from this video and this article here about kind of like having Ahsoka appear in the next episode of The Mandalorian, it seems prominent. I'm very fingers crossed on this. I think it would be very great. But guys, please do not get your hopes up that much. I don't want you guys to be disappointed with the next Mando episode here, of course, but there are multiple indications that kind of point towards, hey, possible cameo for Ahsoka in the next episode of The Mandalorian, which I think would be beyond amazing. But then again, please do take it with a grain of salt. Don't get your hopes up all that much, although of course it would be really cool. Also, hopefully, potentially in the near future, also having an episode that might focus and dabble on with Boba Fett a little bit there as well, kind of doing the same thing of where we'd have like a bottle cap episode focused on Boba Fett and his characters, you know, Black Chrysanthemum, Fennec Shan, and everything that's going on over on Tatooine, and how that kind of would set up for a Book of Boba Fett Season 2. Anyway, of course, I would love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. What are you looking forward to seeing most in the future of The Mandalorian Season 3 and for the Ahsoka show? I would love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, and of course, if you think that we will see Ahsoka in the next episode. Of course, this has been Unofficial Star Wars, and thank you so much for watching today's video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one, guys. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.